Hey guys, this is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. Hey, today we're going to talk about my favorite subject, which is sales. All right, we got a great subject for ourselves today. It's a little bit rainy out here, so I had a few minutes and I figured I'd go ahead and let's have us a video. What we going to talk about? Selling and living within your means. What do you think? I said selling and living within your means. You know, that sounds real good, right? A lot of times people are saying, what in the world has that got to do with selling? Well, listen, here's the deal. I've been in sales in one form of capacity since the 80s. I love all of it. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the warts and all, and the stuff that people don't like to talk about. Because, see, selling is a lifestyle. It's a career. And one of the things I had to learn, not the easy way, but the hard way. And there's an old saying, if you can learn from others' mistakes, you don't have to go through it and make the same mistakes. So here we go, selling and living within your means. You know, when I first got into sales, and over the years, I've had a lot of opportunities with a lot of different companies because I've worked with companies who went out of business, changed careers because I wanted to try a different type of sales. You know, I've been in retail, door-to-door, business-to-business, over the phone. I mean, just a lot of different types of sales. So I've been able to get a lot of experiences. And one of the things that I've learned over the years is to try to learn how to live within your means. What happens is sometimes we can, and I have done this, I bought something that was too extravagant, or I thought, you know, everything in my life was going to be perfect, and I went out and bought some things and spent my money unwisely. I didn't know how to manage my money. I didn't think that, hey, things would happen, because like issues are like tissues, they pop up all the time. And then companies close, new ones open. You got a new product you got to sell. You got to learn. If you're a brand new salesperson, you know, this is some very good advice for you. Selling and living within your means. See, what'll happen is you'll get better. You'll start making some sales, and you'll think, hey, man, I'm going to be rich forever. I'm going to be making all this high dollar money. And sometimes you can for the rest of your life, but a lot of times we have what they call ebb and flow. Good days, bad days, and some days you won't sell anything, and then you'll feel a little depressed, a little frustrated. I'm telling on myself, been there, done that, and I felt that way. So I told you I'd tell you some things that most people in selling won't tell you. I tell you the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. And the reason why I'm telling you this is selling and living within your means is so important is that, hey, listen, you will have rainy days. See that rain right there? You will have rainy days where you may not be able to get out there and do your best in selling. And then there may be opportunities where, hey, products you sell may not be the product that you should be selling. And I'm going to tell you what, some people, they come into the business and they do really, really well. And then some people, they have what they call mediocre opportunities where it doesn't work out for them, because a lot of times poor planning has a lot to do with it. Because if you got a significant other, and if you're living at home, it's a little bit easier to kind of deal with ebb and flows and ups and downs in a selling cycle. And the reason why I say that is because you got another person to help you pay the bills. Okay. And I've been in sales for a long time, and I ain't never had nobody in reality help me pay my bills, you know, so I could go ahead and do what I had to do. But I'm not whining. What I'm doing is telling you serious stuff that's happened in a real salesman's life. And selling and living within your means basically means that, hey, listen, when you get your little paycheck, you need to set yourself up a budget. Now, you may say, why? I'm going to make all this money. Yeah, I made a whole lot of money, and like a young person or a person who don't know what they're doing, I spent all that money. I spent it. Now, I have made some good investments. I have paid off my home. I paid off cars. I paid off a lot of stuff. But see, some of the things that I ran into when I first got into selling was, you know, I didn't know that you would have those days where you didn't sell anything. And we work on mostly straight commission, folks. So if you're working on straight commission and you're not planning and setting goals and put some money away for a rainy day, you're going to end up being broke. And I'm going to tell you what, being broke in a salesperson, it sucks, because I've been there and I've done that. And I've had some of them little bitty nasty checks that I didn't get because I didn't plan for the future. And living within your means, hey, listen, get what you can afford. If you want great things in your life, save up the money for them. Don't go out there and put them on a bunch of credit cards. I've been there and I've done that. And I've had to pay a lot of interest on all that stuff. So here's the key to success in this regard. If you're having issues and you're just starting in sales, you need to go ahead and address them now. The key to success is selling and living within your means. What that means is when you get that little bit of paycheck, when you start making a little bit of money, sock some of that away for a rainy day. Invest that money. Invest that money in stocks, bonds, 401k plans. I mean, you can buy property, you can buy real estate, you can start your own little business where you can have people as far as rent from you. But see, if you don't think about those things, you should. Because see, what happens is we get older. And I'm a little bit older than when I first started many, many years ago, back in the 80s. But I didn't have nobody tell me this kind of stuff. They just said, hey, go sell this and you'll make all kind of money. But they didn't say, hey, man, live within your means. Budget your money. Save up for a rainy day. And I had to learn the hard way. I don't want you to live that way. I want you to learn the right way. So when you start making some money, put some away. Do some investing. And also go ahead and give some to the church if you go to church. If not, help other people. Because see, what you give is what you get. And I'll tell you what, God has blessed me in a mighty way because I try to do the right next thing. But when I was younger, I had them fast cars. I had that big old place to live, nice condominiums, nice apartments, had a lot of money in my pocket. And now it's like years go by, boy, I wish I would have lived within my means and socked some of that away. I got a nice place to live. I got my own place and stuff like that. But what I'm sharing with you is this. I could be even better if I would have made wiser decisions. If you're wanting to go out there and buy a brand new house, say for instance, they're going to ask a lot of times that you have 20% down. Now you may say 20% down on a $200,000 home. That's a lot of money. It is. But see, here's the thing. If you sock it away for a while instead of going and get that condo or that apartment you can't afford, and you know you can't afford, but you're trying to look cool because you got a nice place and you got that really cool car, or you think you look real cool. What's real cool is that stuff is paid for. And selling and living within your means is being smart, doing right by your family, doing right by your money. Because like I said, sales, it's a numbers game. I mean, I've literally in my sales career had some really, really great opportunities, great days where I was making a tremendous amount of money. And then it was like the rug was pulled out from under me. And I was stuck. I had to live on credit cards for a while. I had to pay bills slowly. I didn't mess up my good credit, thank God, because I was always fortunate enough to pay my bills on time. Even though I was struggling, I have always had 2 or 3 sales jobs to back me up. Now, here's the thing. If you live within your means and you're not out there investing and spending your money unwisely, you'll have a better life. Because I know some friends of mine, they got a lot of money, and they doing real good. But see, they learned a long time ago about socking that money away, putting money in the right places and not blowing it. Because sometimes when we're young, we like to go party hard, baby. We like to spend it all night and do it every day. Burning that midnight oil. Spending all of our money on nice clothes and nice blah, 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 trying to keep up with the Joneses. See, here's the key to success. If you notice a lot of people that have a lot of money, you can't really tell a lot of time because, see, they real smart with their money. I look around. I go to a lot of neighborhoods that are really beautiful and nice homes and stuff like that. Huge. And I see they got a lot of stuff. But then I have conversations with these people because I've been in financing and I've been able to talk to people about their mortgages and how upside down they are, how much money they owe. And they ain't living within their means. They're trying to get out from under that debt as far as all their credit cards and all their bills. And as a salesperson, I've been there and I've done that, and it's not a very good feeling when you have to wake up every morning when you've got so much debt that you don't know how to get out from under it. Now, some people, they're able to file bankruptcy and stuff, but you still got to pay a lot of those people back. Student loans and stuff like that, you got to pay it back. And if you think you're going to get out of not being able to pay your bills, you might be able to get out from not paying a few of them. But the majority of them you'll still have to pay because they changed the rules many years ago about, filing for bankruptcy. So selling and living within your means you take a look at your situation right now. I've done it. I had to sit down and look at my bills. I've paid off things. Like I had nice furniture and I had some nice TVs and nice cars and all kinds of great stuff. But what I did was I figured out a way to pay them off quicker. So I paid all the principal as fast as I could and I got them paid off. Now, if you have some extra credit cards, because I have a few credit cards, and I'm being honest with you guys, okay? I got some credit cards that I owe a little bit of money on, but my goal is to go ahead and knock them out and live within my means. See, if you don't have enough money, you got more money going out than you got coming in, it is not a good feeling, salesperson, person in general, or person who's watching this video. We have to be humble, okay? If you got too much house and you ain't got no money, it may look real pretty on the outside, but people have these bad thoughts about suicide. I'll tell you, I've heard about people because they owed more money than they have because they were trying to keep up with the Joneses. You know what? Living within your means as a salesperson means to thine own self be true. You know what you can afford. You know what you can do. You know how much money you can make. You could be making a lot of money. So when you start making a lot of money, put that stuff away, man. Invest it. There's some great books on how to invest, and you got to think about, hey, what happens on a rainy day? I'm dealing with one right now. See the rain? It's raining. It's kind of hard to know knocking on them doors and talking to your customers when it's a rainy day. So I decided, hey, man, let me go ahead and talk about this living within your means, because I've been working on and living on a budget for quite a while now, because I want to make sure I keep my good credit. And living within your means that, hey, man, you may not be able to buy all those toys and all those things you think you need. You need that big this, that beautiful that. I got so much stuff right now, it's like, golly, man, I have to give it away to go to the doggone Goodwill stores. You probably are the same way. So if you're a salesperson, if you're trying to be successful in selling, listen, live within your means. And like I said, put money away for a rainy day, because eventually it's going to happen to you. You're going to work for a company for a long time, and eventually they may go out of business. And if they go out of business, you may find yourself being in a situation where you got to start all over. You may end up losing that house. You may end up losing that car. Because the repo people, they will come and repo your stuff. They will get your stuff. Selling and living within your means, what does that got to do with selling? Smart people know how to take their money and spend it wisely. There's been some billionaires that I've been doing some research on, and there's some millionaires that when you saw them, you wouldn't think that they were so over the top rich, because they lived within their means. They budgeted. They put money away for a rainy day. They did the right things, and now they've got so much paper, boom, 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 boom. But they don't have this attitude like they need to have the biggest of everything. Now, there's a lot of people that's got some money. I'm glad. I'm really glad. And I know some salespeople who make a lot of money, but I've also seen some salespeople lose everything because of divorce, because of personal finances, all kinds of issues, drugs, alcohol. And then what happens is because they spent all their money, they didn't live within their means, they lost it all. I'm sharing this stuff with you because in my own personal life, I've had to live and learn how to live within my means. I'm a single parent, guys. I raised my son since he was a little bitty baby, almost 2 months old. And I'm not saying I'm all that in a bag of chips, but I've had to learn how to put money away, pay bills as I get them, and try to live in today. You know, my whole goal today was to talk to you about selling and living within your means. You know, I ain't your preacher. I'm just kind of like a teacher. I like to teach from experience. And my simple goal today is selling and living within your means. I hope you got a little bit out of this, because if this touches you, or maybe you're in a situation, you can start all over. But if you're young, if you're into sales, getting into sales, take my advice. Live within your means. Don't spend all your money. Don't blow all your money. You might want a lot of beautiful, crazy things. It'll happen. But you want to be able to pay cash for it as best you can, because you don't want to be paying the interest on all those credit cards and all that stuff. And then you lose your job or something happens and then you're broke. Okay, so my name is Gary Lee Stanley. I didn't mean to talk about something that's so sad and all this kind of stuff. Because live within your means, hey, man, I can afford to go on that vacation. I can afford to buy those things that I want to buy because I lived within my means. And I know that I can afford to pay for it. Okay, it's a good feeling. My name is Gary Lee Stanley. I told you I'd tell you some things nobody will talk about. So we just had a great conversation about selling and living within your means. So do me a favor, go out there and sell something. But if you ain't asking for the order, you ain't selling. Selling and living within your means means, hey, man, I made the right choice. All right.